How the fuck did Lelouch survive that truck explosion? Yeah, it was mostly directed upwards, blah blah blah, but he was literally right next to it and he was pretty much unscathed. Okay, setup so far, I guess. Callan trusts Lelouch's voice too quickly. Why'd they give Suzaku that mech? He's a supplementary soldier with no experience, but go ahead and give him your newest all-important shit to use in a serious battle. And how did Lelouch pilot the other mech perfectly? Genius didn't even get a manual, did he? Callan's got some nice knockers. Lelouch's plan depended on his being there when the phone call went off, otherwise Callan could still definitely think that the voice was his, and yet he was about to walk off despite the fact that he had no way of knowing whether or not Callan would stop him. A high chance maybe, but definitely not a guaranteed one. Callan could just as likely save it for later given the circumstances anyways. He should have timed his entrance better. And another thing, Sayaka or whatever her name was had the recorded audio in her hand, right? Lelouch Geassed her into playing it at a set time, right? What if she played it after realizing that it was in her hand? She could do that, right? This might not have mattered much at least, but she could freak and shit and either report it or even obey what it said. That didn't happen, which may or may not be strange, I don't know, but Lelouch didn't seem to give that any thought. Also, the recording was set up so that Lelouch would answer first. He answers, says, "Oh no, I'm not blah blah," and then hands it to Colin. That made it even more imperative that he be in the bathroom when the phone went off, and it solidifies that it was his intent to stay there from the beginning and yet he was about to walk out. The dubbed version makes no effort to make the voice of, not Lelouch, aka Zero, any different when Colin gets that phone call. Episode 4 was the worst one so far. Motherfucker Suzaku said he wanted to change the nation from within. He doesn't want to kill people to do it. How noble. And so, in order to do this, he decides to become a soldier instead of a politician, because you know that ups his chances. He shall take part in putting down terrorist 11s and serve the people, that is, the Britannians, whom the government is clearly biased towards. He should obey said government's every rule because rules are rules, even if it means his death, because that'll definitely help change the nation. I gotta hand it to my man Suzaku, he's a genius in this business, makes Lelouch's petty ideas of revolution look foolish. And seriously, I guess the result is all that matters to you. Motherfucker, he's explaining to you that there were no casualties, ergo he's not as bad as you think. And you spout that line as though Zero had just said that he didn't care about civilian casualties or something. Oh, but he killed the Prince of Britannia. Better follow the rules of a government that oppresses your people and doesn't even follow its own rules over him. Terrible dialogue overall. Also, nobody noticed Lelouch's mask open up, it seems. Nobody noticed that Jeremiah's eyes had suddenly turned red either. Is that supposed to be a visual effect that only the audience sees? Because in-universe, how could nobody have thought that was odd? He just took a dump on everything he previously said and his eyes had turned red. That's not a little bit fishy? Lelouch intended to wipe out Britannia without the power? When not long ago he thought the rebels were being silly or something of the sort? When the idea never seemed to come across his mind again until after he'd gotten the Geass? Okay, alright. Suzaku also transferring to school. Should he even be at school? Holy shit, forced drama in episode 6 where these people at school were all like, "Wait, Lelouch, do you know Suzaku? What? But he's an 11! Despite the fact that literally all they saw was the two of them go after the cat at the same time and Suzaku helping Lelouch from almost falling off the roof. Wow, the whole cat ordeal was stupid too. Stuff like, oh, the prize is a kiss. Wait, who do you want a kiss from? Is akin to the typical slice of life rom-com bullshit. So annoying. Also, can't accept that bullshit with Nunnally recognizing Suzaku with the touch of his hand. That was stupid and not meaningful at all. Lelouch had met his match. One thing that bugs me, his genius is illustrated too much by his inexplicable ability to predict some minor events right before they happen. He was saved by C2 at the end. The soldier shot at her feet when she showed up as Zero. Convenient much? Episode 8 showcases Lelouch's great, not really, utilization of his Geass ability as well as his ability to handle potential allies. Well, yeah, leaving it there. Fucking hell, what was the point of episode 9? A welcoming party for a cat? What? Pointless little mission and mopey melodrama. This dragged out rebellion is a crock of shit. Lelouch has no idea what the fuck he's doing. Callan's an idiot. She's been absolutely butchered. Episode 10, god damn! Jesus Christ, fuck this episode. Lelouch walks into that cabin and takes his mask off. He doesn't even tell the others to forget what they had just seen. Why did he do this when he could have just opened up his eye panel? Not only that, but he walks outside to talk with C2 without his mask. Who knows when someone else of the Liberation Front would come out, or one of his allies just to check up on him for something. What if they see him? Episode 11. Kuel's auto-eject didn't work at all despite working for Jeremiah last episode. The fuck? More rom-com-esque bullshit. End of episode 12, kind of mopey. Episode 13, whatever. Kind of dumb with Lelouch blowing up the ship to spring a surprise attack. Don't really think that was all that necessary, though perhaps that's me getting too nitpicky. So episode 14 introduced Mao, and he seemed like he might have been interesting at first, but holy shit, he's just another moron. After he fails to get Shirley to kill Lelouch, rather than just shooting the both of them with the gun he has in his hand, he goes back into the fucking cable car, I think it was, just to get another gun, which allows C2 to send him away. Whole thing had me thinking, what the fuck, why? And more lame melodrama with Shirley and Lulu. Episode 15. Valletta just lost her fucking memory after being shot in the stomach. Not even after being hit hard in the head or anything like that. Convenient. C2 was too big for a plane? What kind of plane does this fool have in mind? Is that his insanity talking or what? Lelouch predicted Mao's words. He knew when Mao would start talking and stop talking. It was all timed perfectly, even that one point in which he cut Mao off. Okay. And this confirms yet again with complete solidity that Lelouch can turn a bunch of people into complete slaves and have them carry out complex commands. How he hasn't infiltrated the royal family and taken the king's head by now baffles me. How in the world did Lelouch do what he did so quickly? He was able to record a video, get it to play on the screen thingy at the amusement park when the time was right, get into contact with a hefty number of policemen, meet up with them in person so that he could Geass all of them, and then have them show up at the amusement park. Not all in that order necessarily, but yeah, when C2 and Mao had been there for about 5 minutes at best, probably, unless I missed something? Was Lelouch's character supposed to develop here? It wasn't convincing. He gets angry at C2, understandably so, but then reconciles his relationship with her because she tried to take care of Mao? I don't know. I just didn't like the whole thing. Could not sympathize or relate. This series is screaming, just go with it, at the viewer, and I hate that. I didn't like the episode. I thought Nunnally would end up being a kidnapped plot device at some point. She has no real character other than being weak and giving Lelouch a motive, so she's just another plot device to me. And this episode pretty much just used that for Mao's insaneness that I couldn't give less of a shit about. The reveal at the end is interesting to say the least. I don't think it redeems Suzaku's character though, he's still a complete moron. He didn't want Japan destroyed, but shit, he's still working for the ones who oppress his damn people. I fail to see why he can't do his self-righteous bullshit at Zero's side. Lelouch's plan was a bit decent this time around, but he still remembered that he left Suzaku down there. What did he think Suzaku was doing? Just staying there? A little weird. And what the fuck was all that with Spider Zaku? Also, C2 was able to kill Mao this time, but not last episode? With all this, the episode just felt like a waste of time, bar the end. I'm interested to know what this C's world is, though. In episode 17, Lelouch heard Todo's soft words through the solid wall. K. So when Zero and company bust in to free Todo, not a single Britannian soldier can hold a candle to them but Suzaku with the Lancelot? K. Lelouch predicting Suzaku's every move right before they happen? K. Unwinnable, not the same as lost? What the fuck? Does that just mean that they can come back later and win? Or that the battle may be lost but not the war? Anywho, the whole Lelouch versus Suzaku lol drama finally unfolded. The whole thing was absolutely pointless and forced to begin with, so fuck all if I give a shit. Wait, so in episode 18, everyone freaked out over Suzaku's promotion to knighthood, but once Nunnally throws the party, they're all Gucci? K. Auto-eject feature not working again when Callan does her thing to the enemies? K. Sound only? Evangelion much? Already had that 94% thingy for Suzaku's skills with the Lancelot or whatever that resembled sync ratios in Ava. Not a huge deal, but worth noting. Yes, Suzaku, please fucking die!
Okay, before he does, tell me one thing. Tell me who he really is.
Why don't you find out for yourself?
Oh, I see. You don't know either.
How did...
I knew it.
You tricked me?
I thought that was hilarious. So stupid. Fuck the both of those clowns. There's Lelouch just sitting with Euphemia without his mask on. Damn it. There could be others on the island, genius. Tamaki or whatever is annoying as hell. C2 talking shit to him was hilarious. Suzaku's a real clown. Time and time again, he's been shown that the Britannian government is hardly worth working for, even when taking into consideration his little ideology that keeps him from working with Zero. And even when Callan and Lelouch blatantly tell him this, he's still the same old fucker, right after he puts on a little shocked expression for the umpteenth time. Like he's done every time he's realized that the military is no good, right before he decides to forget it a moment later. Dumb fuck. Okay, fuck episode 20. Lelouch fights against the exiled Japanese government, who are essentially a dissident faction because they're puppets for the Chinese, and because, this part is just for the public, they're unjust and shit. Motherfucker, who the fuck cares? Who the fuck cares if this little case will give the Black Knight some positive publicity? You couldn't, I don't know, make the Japanese government your own goddamn puppet if you didn't want to actually team up with them? Oh right, I forgot! If he were that adept at his job, the rebellion would be over by now. Stupid, cock-sucking motherfucker. Though to be fair, he had me laughing like a little girl throughout that whole little thing. And fuck the friendship vibes between Zero and Suzaku at the Kyushu incident. And I can't feel for Suzaku and Euphemia's love. Go figure. And fuck, Nina is a creepy motherfucker. Episode 21, School Festival filler with a little announcement of Euphemia's towards the end. Everyone just heard Shirley go, "What? That's Princess Euphemia?" For fuck's sake. Lelouch gets insanely pissed. Interesting, to say the least. So in episode 22, Lelouch's Geass ability finally reached that phase and came up with a bang. Right before that, he was about to leave his villainous ways behind for at least a while out of a change in his heart that came completely out of left field. What an interesting way to do it. All a total misunderstanding. Poor guy. It may have been foreshadowed by Mao before, the Geass losing control, but goddamn, what a convenient moment for it to occur. Diabolus ex machina at its finest. Although it's not like we haven't seen lighter cases of it tons of times before in the show. Also, I found the king laughing his ass off to be hilarious. LOL at Euphemia deterring the Geass's power out of her nature and willpower. Suzaku needs to die. Soon. Valletta got her memory back because... shit, why not? Perfect timing too. LOL at Ogi getting shot. LOL beam spamming. LOL student council members leaving the student council room to help Suzaku with soldiers roaming the school. LOL cat saving stupid Zaku. LOL confrontation between two friends I couldn't care less about. LOL Callan freaking out over being used only when she realizes that Zero was Lelouch. What was up with that? Was it because Lelouch was her actual friend? From what we've seen, they didn't seem very close. Shit, the last big moment between the two I can even remember was when she fucking slapped him for his beliefs or whatever the fuck, that one time he refused to help that Japanese dude who was getting beat up. Was this V2 tossed into the story to pull this shit off? This anime had a terrible cliffhanger. It was so anticlimactic. Everything that's been built up has just been destroyed. Fuck.